This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Now at 5, if you need a COVID test, finding one won't be quick or easy. What's being done to meet the growing demand?
Instantly, I realized that I couldn't move my legs or my lower body.
I wish that every story on the show this morning was as positive and inspiring as this one. We have it for you in 15 minutes, a story about beating the odds because that woman is walking again after an accident on the Oregon coast just 2 months ago left her paralyzed.
And just incredible video of lava devouring homes on a Spanish island. Now there are some new dangers as that lava inches closer to the ocean. Can you believe that? Look at that swimming pool gone.
All right, it is a Thursday morning here on the Sunrise Show. If you're up right now, you are a go-getter, or you haven't been able to sleep all night. Either way, welcome to the show.
Maybe you're just junior. You have no seniority, and this is a shift that you were awarded.
This is, I said the second day of fall, but you pointed out the first full day of the fall season.
And the first fall morning.
There you go.
So many ways to describe today's day. Hey, I want to check out the fog map. My way of letting you know, we're looking for some possible fog pockets around the area this morning, but so far not really seeing anything. Except for Newport, there's dense fog down there in Lincoln County, and Astoria is starting to get a little foggy as well. But good visibility here in Portland, and we should be off and running for what's going to be a really nice day. We're at 59 degrees, so the temperature doesn't start to fall off soon. We won't have any fog. We'll go mid-50s out the door at the bus stop this morning, and then lunchtime recess, just a beautiful sunny 66 and a beautiful sunny 77 around 3 o'clock this afternoon.
All right, Rob, we do want to get to our top news story this half hour. It's the growing demand for COVID tests because right now events, restaurants, airlines, they're all asking that unvaccinated people show proof of a negative test.
And that is putting a strain on healthcare systems in the metro area. As Morgan Romero tells us, with a shortage of staff, Oregonians are having a hard time finding appointments.
Well, I was very surprised at the lack of access.
When Nathan Sirota and his family felt sick after a trip,
we definitely did our due diligence.
They looked everywhere for a rapid test. They needed one right away with family coming to town.
We had all this time-sensitive stuff that was going on, so I needed to know pretty quickly.
The Sirotas could only get a PCR test at a pharmacy, a few days out with a few days turnaround.
The logistical part of it was stressful. There were a lot of things hanging in the balance. And I'm glad I was able to get one, but I just felt like it should have been so much more seamless.
Across the metro area, many pharmacies, urgent cares, and clinics offer PCR or rapid COVID tests. I checked pharmacies near my house, but found very few or no appointments. Multnomah County has 3 free community testing sites by appointment. They use rapid tests, but hours are really limited, only 3 days a week, a few hours a day.
Arguably, we don't have enough of anything right now. The way resources are stretched, especially with staffing, is particularly challenging.
Multnomah County's health director told reporters Tuesday, health systems are taxed, trying to make vaccines and tests accessible.
We have tried to stretch the resources as much as we can. The challenge, I will say, across all systems, public health, our clinical services, healthcare and hospitals, is staffing. So we continue to struggle with that.
To try to meet demand, OHSU reopened its free low-barrier drive-through testing site at the Expo Center in Portland earlier this month. Although it's dealing with staffing issues across the system, OHSU told me there are enough people at the site to keep up. It's a busy place. I checked online Wednesday and watched appointments get snatched up quickly. There's nothing until Friday. A similar problem Sirota ran into over a month ago.
I feel like this is something that you should be able to get with how widespread it is. But I also understand the lack of staffing. It's just a problem. It was frustrating.
That was Morgan Romero reporting. Well, more than half the people who work for the state of Oregon now have an extra 6 weeks to meet the COVID vaccine mandate. The Service Employees International Union 503 cut a deal with the governor's office, pushing back the deadline to November 30th. That affects about 24,000 state employees. But the October 18th deadline still applies to teachers and healthcare workers.
Governor Brown paid a visit to Forest Grove yesterday to honor all of Washington County for being the first county in Oregon to reach the 80% vaccination mark. The governor's visit coincided with one of the county's largest weekly vaccination clinics. Local nonprofit Adelante Mujeres has been hosting this clinic since July. So anyone who gets a shot there receives a $50 gift card to the Forest Grove Farmers Market.
It's more than just providing vaccines, right? It's providing people with education and information. It's answering questions.
Feels great to know that lots of people are getting vaccinated, to stay safe, to have a great community.
So according to the latest numbers from the state, Multnomah and Hood River counties have also reached the 80% vaccination mark. So now there's 3 counties in the state that have done it, and Lincoln County is very close to hitting the mark too.
Today, a CDC panel meets to give final approval to Pfizer's COVID booster. The FDA approved a 3rd dose yesterday. It's for people 65 and older and those 18 and up considered high risk for catching COVID. Here's the problem, though. People who don't qualify but are desperate to protect themselves from the Delta variant are putting their doctors on the spot.
It does put physicians in an awkward situation because people do come to us and sort of say they're desperate, they're scared, and they want to get a booster. And who do they call? They call their physician friend and say, how can I sort of game the system?
Yeah, you can hear more of that conversation on the Today Show this morning. It's coming up right after sunrise.
After a summer that featured the highest temperatures we've ever seen in Oregon and Southwest Washington, a group of senators from the western part of the U.S. are calling for more investments to respond to climate change. The senators are pushing for more funding for clean energy, electric vehicle infrastructure, and wildfire prevention. And they want a big chunk of President Biden's $3.5 trillion plan to boost the economy to directly address climate issues. One of the senators involved in this push is Oregon's Jeff Merkley.
Electrify everything with renewable energy. Turn fossil furnaces into heat pumps. Turn fossil transits into EVs, and then put renewable energy on the grid to replace fossil energy on the grid.
Merkley and the other senators pushing for these changes say they would create thousands of new jobs in addition to helping reduce carbon emissions.
Well, if you've been putting off going to the DMV because of the pandemic, time is running out. The grace period to renew your expired license and registration is up in a few months. And if you're caught driving around, that's a $265 ticket. This morning, Chris McGinnis tells us how to take care of business.
Don't wait till the end of the year. We're going to see a rush.
Got an expired license or expired tags on your car? That free ride is over at the end of December. So for the tens of thousands of you taking advantage of the state's grace period on citations, this may come as welcome news.
Most transactions, DMV is caught up with a backlog that was built up since the very beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, this was by far the fastest time I've been in and out. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
I came in for my appointment on time and was in and out in 15 minutes and good to go.
The DMV says visit by appointment is popular, and so that will remain a permanent option. But depending on the service, you can just walk in.
I went on the website and they suggested I could walk in on it.
Jim came to renew a parking permit.
The odds that we can get you in and out without an appointment are increasing day by day.
And while many services are available online on the state's DMV2U website, if you prefer or need the in-person visit, the DMV says now is a very good time.
Maybe on your next errand, drop by the local DMV and see if we can work you in for standby service right then and there.
Between expired registrations and expired licenses, the DMV estimates there are more than 100,000 outstanding transactions, and they will not be able to get to all of them to beat the end of the year crunch. Meanwhile, in Oregon, an expired license could cost you $265 and an expired registration $115. So it makes financial sense to take care of business before the end of the year. Chris McGinnis, KGW News.
No doubt, no fun standing in line at the DMV, but that ticket even worse.
I thought months ago we did a story where they were no longer going to fine you for that.
No, that was the grace period, but that's what we're talking about. It's up in a couple of months. You got to get on it, Rod.
So now we got to start following the rules all over again. Gosh. Darn it.
That was the only good part of the pandemic.
All right. Hey, this is cool. This is the last sunrise of summer. This was taken yesterday morning. Ron French. This is John. Am I saying this right? JONSRUD viewpoint. You know, it's that beautiful viewpoint in Sandy. You know, you drive just north of the main 26th and Sandy, and you have this viewpoint. It looks right at Mount Hood. Just gorgeous. And look how the sun, it's almost like a sun pillar illuminating this band of clouds off the flank of Mount Hood. Anyway, Ron, thank you for posting that pic on my KGW Rod Hill Facebook page. Absolutely gorgeous. We're in for a nice day today. We're seeing some fog at this hour in spots along the coast. Not much of anything being reported inland. And we have the clouds arcing around us. So on your mark, get set, go for a mostly sunny, warm first full day of fall. Here are the temperatures. I mentioned the coast has some fog. Newport's one of those spots. They're at 50, but so far temps are holding fairly high, really, up and down I-5. Salem at 55. Portland's at 59 degrees. Those are current numbers, your forecast for today. So with a mostly sunny day after any early fog pockets that we may or may not see and light winds, temperatures generally in the upper 70s in Salem, Corvallis, McMinnville. We'll be in the 70s up in southwest Washington as well. This shows Vancouver at 78 degrees. I have Portland 78, maybe 80. There's definitely a chance we hit 80 today, and I think there's definitely a chance we could hit 90 tomorrow, going 88 tomorrow. The records this time of the year are still, in fact, in the 90s. Okay, here's a change. Saturday still looks great. I bumped it to 82, but now Sunday clouds up, and I've added a rain chance Sunday afternoon to something I'm watching. This would be ahead of the heavier rain Sunday overnight into Monday and Tuesday. That still looks like it's well over an inch of rain, so a big soak to start next week. All right, I got to go pay my registration. I'll see you in a bit.
and keep that Friday temperature away from the 90s, would you please? All right, coming up next on Sunrise, this is a story about a remarkable recovery for a young woman who was paralyzed after a dirt bike accident on the Oregon coast this summer. Now, the headline here is that she's already walking again, but the best part of the story is seeing just how determined she was to make that happen. So we're going to bring that to you in 5 minutes. But first up, after this quick break, online claims about natural immunity against COVID have gone viral. So our Verified team is going to break down what's really true about natural immunity and what's not.